had to go show off all the stuff my whole life that was going to be taken away from me.
While the world is distracted by headlines and red carpets, a cold realization is sweeping through the internet that changes everything we thought we knew about the early 2000s music scene. For years, we watched pop stars crumble. We laughed at their public meltdowns, scrolled past their mugshots, and dismissed their frantic live streams as the ravings of people who couldn't handle the fame. But what if we were looking at the situation upside down? What if the crazy behavior wasn't a symptom of addiction, but a frantic, desperate reaction to a terrifying reality they couldn't escape? The new documentary produced by 50 Cent isn't just exposing Sean Diddy Combs, it is rewriting the history of an entire generation of child stars. And at the center of this dark storm is the late Aaron Carter.
You really hate Sean Combs.
Why would you be thinking that?
Because of the things that you post on Instagram, because of the...
Look at this. And let's stop for a second and do say that I hated him enough to hire his kids. And we've never done anything to each other. So it's just competitive energy and things that you say about other artists while you're in hip-hop culture.
I go on my Twitter and I see people saying, you look like you have AIDS, you should go die. I don't understand how I dedicated 22 years of my life to my fans, and now they turn on me.
Do you regret ever getting involved in...
I didn't have a choice. It got bad when I was about 15 years old, because when I did MTV Cribs, the day that I had to go show off that house, my mom and my dad told me, we're getting a divorce, you still have to go do this. I had to go show off all the stuff my whole life that was going to be taken away from me.
The FBI is finally looking into the alleged murder of Aaron Carter. The details of Aaron Carter's murder have creepy similarities with the death of Diddy's ex-wife, Kim Porter.
Aaron Carter begged for her in front of the world. He begged for financial support to help get him a private security team to keep him alive. He said on numerous occasions, if anything happens to me, I promise you, I am not vital. And no one said anything.
Developing news tonight. Pop star Aaron Carter.
They go to something like it.
The 34-year-old was found dead.
Has died at the age of 34.
Sing aloud!
Authorities say he was found in his bathtub.
He had been grappling with substance abuse for years.
I mean, this is my first podcast interview ever.
What?
I was Aaron's twin. We have our own bond. I'm just at a place now where I want to tell our truth, change the narrative for my family. We were just such like playful kids. There was the 5 of us. There was a lot of love. Nick, he was discovered by my mom in the backyard. Oh my gosh, like he can sing. That's how he joined the Backstreet Boys. Aaron really idolized Nick. He wanted to be exactly like him. At age 7, he started singing. Working like an adult, innocence stripped away from him. Things were really chaotic at home. No boundaries. Divorce was like brewing. And then we all got into...
For a long time, Aaron was the punchline. He was the guy with the face tattoos, the erratic behavior, the public feuds with his brother Nick. But looking back at the footage now, in the shadow of the federal raids on Diddy's homes and the mounting lawsuits, Aaron's words don't sound like paranoia anymore. They sound like a warning. He told us he was being targeted. He told us he needed protection. He told us about the sharks in the water. And then he was gone, found in a bathtub, a hauntingly familiar scene in Hollywood. With the FBI finally peeling back the layers of the industry's most protected secrets, we have to ask the uncomfortable question: did Aaron Carter know too much? And was his downfall engineered to keep him quiet?
Of your father and losing him, and then yet earlier you acknowledged that your father had put a to your head and fired it.
Sean Diddy Combs has been swimming in both criminal and civil law.
What? Wow. Talking about a transition. Man.
Ever since he got indicted, and the storm doesn't seem to be letting up anytime soon. Recently, another wave of accusations has just been leveled at him, this time a staggering 25 lawsuits alleging inappropriate relationships with younger individuals. And while the whispers about his past connections with Justin Bieber and Usher during their early careers have been making rounds in the past months, a new shocking name has entered the conversation: Aaron Carter. Aaron, who allegedly first met Diddy at just 9 years old, is now being linked to allegations that have sparked heated discussions across social.
You have to wonder why Curtis 50 Cent Jackson is the only one loud enough to lead this charge. In an industry built on silence, NDAs, and don't ask, don't tell, 50 Cent has been throwing rocks at the throne for decades. While other celebrities were attending the all-white parties and smiling for the cameras, 50 was keeping his distance, dropping hints that went over everyone's heads at the time. He wasn't just being a troll, he was planting flags. The recent clips circulating of 50 discussing Diddy aren't new. He's been saying this. He's been joking about Diddy wanting to take him shopping, a comment that seemed funny 10 years ago, but now carries a sinister undertone of grooming and unwanted advances. The difference now is that 50 Cent isn't just talking on Instagram, he's putting his money where his mouth is with a documentary that promises to blow the lid off the entire operation. This isn't just about one man, it's about a system. 50 Cent has made it clear that he doesn't fear the repercussions because he never played their game. He didn't go to the parties, he didn't take the deals, and because of that, he is the only one left standing with clean hands and a working microphone. But as we cheer for 50's bravery, we have to look at the people who didn't have his power or his street smarts, the people who were just kids when they walked into the trap.
And how you holding up?
I'm doing good, man.
You doing good?
Yeah, staying strong. It's been 8 months of a lot of turmoil and back and forth. But at this point, I think that I've got it under control. I'm doing everything that I need to do, and just focusing on my music, which is what I love. It's my passion, and really just taking care of my aftercare, and
which consists of what? The care. You're doing what you have to do. So what does that mean to you?
Basically, a lot of people in the news, there's hundreds of posts from media, and they all said, that I'm 165 pounds, and when I checked into rehab last time, I was 117, same weight that Michael Jackson died at, actually. And
117 pounds.
Yeah. I got my weight up and I kept it the whole time. I've managed to turn my life around, be able to purchase houses, flip houses, be a real estate mogul, do touring after all the...
So you're buying and flipping houses, huh?
Yeah.
And I see that this one is
for sale right now.
Is up for sale. This one's up for sale.
Yeah, so Christy Olympus is my she's like my big sister. But she's my real estate agent. She got me to my first house, which is only like about a mile away from here.
Yeah.
And then flipped that one from $420 to $620, got $200,000 profit. I bought this one for...
But 50's warpath brings us to a much sadder reality. While he survived the game, others were consumed by it. And that brings us to the tragic, misunderstood final year of Aaron Carter. Rewind the tape to 2022. Aaron Carter is on a press run, but it doesn't look like a normal celebrity tour. He's sitting down with Adam 22, he's talking to Vlad TV, and he looks haunted. At the time, the comment sections were brutal. People called him a junkie, said he looked like he was on heavy substances, and mocked his erratic speech. But listen closer to what he was actually saying. He wasn't talking about partying, he was talking about survival. He explicitly stated that he was under attack, that people were trying to put him in a conservatorship, and that he feared for his life. There is a specific clip where Aaron discusses the industry vultures circling him. He mentions needing a heavy muscle security team, not to look cool, but because he genuinely believed there was a hit on him. He spoke about the handlers who control the money and the narrative. When you combine this with the recent allegations against Diddy regarding the exploitation of young artists, Aaron's frantic energy makes sense. It wasn't just drugs, it was the sheer terror of knowing you're a small fish in a tank with predators who have endless resources. He was screaming for help in the only way he knew how, through the camera lens. But the world was too busy judging his appearance to hear his plea. And tragically, Aaron isn't the only one whose death is now being looked at through a different lens. The similarities between his passing and others in Diddy's orbit are impossible to ignore.
Heard it all, another layer of darkness gets peeled back. With the way things are unfolding for Diddy, this might just turn into the scandal of the century.
Aaron Carter! I just want to make everyone happy and just love and do my music. Do you honestly think that that's the death?
I know who Aaron Carter is, but I don't at the same time. I forgot what it was that he actually did. But I believe he came from one of those, was it like a Disney show or something like that? I believe so. Because he has a brother, yeah.
Finishing up a meth head and a crackhead, teaching my niece her first dance moves, making music on my bed.
Aaron Carter was once the golden boy of pop, a wildly talented child star whose meteoric rise to fame was nothing short of remarkable. He was only 9 years old when he dropped his self-titled debut album, captivating audiences everywhere and securing his spot as one of the biggest child stars to ever grace the music industry. Carter was tipped to do great things and have a long, successful career, but as bright as his star burned, it faded just as fast. Fame at such a young age can take its toll, but there was so much more that contributed to the downfall of Aaron's career. Several insider sources have suggested that Aaron may have been a victim of manipulation and the toxic.
The official reports say Aaron Carter accidentally drowned in his bathtub after taking substances. It's a tragic open and shut case on paper. But for internet sleuths and industry insiders like Gene Deal, the bathtub narrative is a recurring nightmare in Hollywood.
Died from that pneumonia.
Yes.
You know, just like Kim, just like Brittany Murphy. That pneumonia ain't no joke. Man, every time somebody get to telling the truth about someone, whoever's been lying, they just say a little prayer and then the pneumonia comes.
Real life.
It ain't real life. Just say real life street star. You know what time it is.
Oh no, it's all good. But Uncle Ron, Beyonce's ex-bodyguard, who threatened to expose them. Yeah, threatened to expose them. I believe in 2023. Is deceased. He's passed away.
Allegedly, that's what they are saying.
Allegedly, that is what they are saying. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, they said he died from that pneumonia.
Yes.
You know, just like Kim, just like Brittany Murphy. That pneumonia ain't no joke. Man, every time somebody get to telling the truth about someone, whoever's been lying, they just say a little prayer and then the pneumonia comes and then a lot of people been getting that pneumonia. I'm surprised they didn't try to say that Liam.
It brings up immediate, chilling comparisons to the death of Whitney Houston, and more specifically, the mother of Diddy's children, Kim Porter. Kim's death was ruled as pneumonia, a natural cause, yet insiders have whispered for years that she was writing a tell-all book, that she was ready to expose the reality of what went on behind the gates of those mansions. Gene Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard who has become a prophetic voice in this saga, has pointed out the anomalies. He questions how healthy people suddenly end up dead just as they're about to sever ties or speak out. When Aaron died, he was in the process of trying to clean up his life, trying to regain custody of his son, and trying to distance himself from the toxic elements of his past. History tells us that the most dangerous time for a victim is when they decide to leave or fight back. The pneumonia and the accidental drowning are beginning to look less like coincidences and more like a cleanup crew's signature.
MTV Cribs, the day that I had to go show off that house, my mom and my dad told me, we're getting a divorce. You still have to go do this. I had to go show off all the stuff, my whole life, that was going to be taken away from me.
This leads us to the darkest aspect of the conversation, the grooming. It wasn't just adults getting trapped, it was children being handed over by their parents for a shot at fame. If you want to understand what Aaron Carter went through, you have to look at his peers. Look at Justin Bieber. There is footage resurfacing of a young, wide-eyed Justin spending 48 hours with Diddy. At the time, it was played off as mentorship. Diddy promised him a Lamborghini and the keys to the kingdom, but looking at those videos now, the body language is terrifying. Justin looks small.
But you know, he went over that balcony. But the thing is, they say he went on his own. But there's two other things that I considered as I speculate. This is all my speculation. None of this is true yet. But what if somebody told him he had to jump off?
Man.
What if he would have rather jumped and be out?
Right.
You know? Or maybe imminent danger was there. And
it's alleged that
only escape.
Right. It's alleged that he had Tootsie.
No, that's not alleged. That is a fact. There, Rook. It was found in his system in his autopsy. That's not alleged.
That's crazy.
The Tootsie, yeah. Yep.
Jack, Liam Payne, his fall. There's a lot of alleged things they're saying that happened.
On multiple levels, his fall.
There's a lot of speculation.
Personal life.
Right.
Health.
What is his ties to Diddy?
I mean, all of those kids from that era, even the British bands, they all partied with Diddy. I'm just... It's hard for me.
Uncomfortable and silenced while Diddy speaks in codes about things they can't talk about on camera. Justin's struggle with mental health and his breakdown in his adult years mirror Aaron's almost perfectly. Then there is Usher. Before Bieber, there was Usher, who lived with Diddy in New York as a teenager. He was exposed to a lifestyle that no child should see. These camps were essentially training grounds, desensitizing these young boys to abuse and normalizing silence. Aaron came up in the era of Lou Pearlman, another known predator who managed the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC. Aaron was passed from one wolf to another. He didn't stand a chance. By the time he was an adult, his concept of reality, trust, and safety had been completely shattered. He wasn't acting out. He was acting exactly like someone who had been preyed upon since elementary school. But why did no one stop it? Why did the labels, the managers, and the other artists look the other way? The answer lies in what might be hidden in the vaults seized by the feds.
You know what I'm saying? It's like 150 hugs.
You're a public person as well, and there was one instance in Harlem, and his reaction when those people
went away.
Got in the
car and said, I feel like I need to wash, like I'm dirt. That was, it show you his character.
Was that the reason for including it?
Yeah, I mean, what's the odds that you would do that in front of the camera? Like that's one of the moments where he forgot he was on tape.
How do you respond to people who say that it's more about the disdain that you have for Sean Combs than it is for giving the victims a platform?
What they consider a pre-existing beef, right, for 20 years, right, is me being uncomfortable with him suggesting that he takes me shopping, or I looked at it like it was like a tester. Like maybe you'll come play with me type of thing, right? And it's not personal.
I think it's important to also let people know that the show is not completely the perspectives of people that did not like Sean. We weren't trying to just get the highlights, the salacious details, that the real goal was to storytell. And not everyone needed to have an allegation to be a part of this project.
The 4-part series also features 2 jurors from Combs' trial who are speaking for the first time about how they reached their mixed verdict, finding Combs guilty of 2 prostitution offenses, but clear of racketeering and sex trafficking charges, both sharing their thoughts on the relationship between Combs and singer Cassie. Juror 75 describing them as 2 people in love, and Juror 160 saying in part, domestic violence wasn't one of the charges. Cassie, is she a victim in all this?
I believe Cassie's a victim in all this because she came in she's like 18, like 19 years old. in the very beginning. After a while, over time, you condition for it.
The goal of what the film is trying to do is to let the audience kind of come in to ask questions like, were their decisions colored by certain things, and who got the benefit of the doubt, in that courtroom?
Do you think that hip-hop culture was on trial as much as Sean Combs was?
Look, if I didn't say anything, you would interpret it as the hip-hop.
One of the most explosive rumors circulating since the raids on Diddy's properties is the existence of the tapes. It has been alleged by multiple sources, including Jaguar Wright, that Diddy's homes were wired for sound and video. The theory is simple: mutually assured destruction. If you attend the parties, you are filmed. If you participate in the illicit activities, knowingly or under the influence, that footage becomes collateral. This would explain the deafening silence from Hollywood's A-list. It's not just loyalty protecting these power players, it's fear. If Aaron Carter knew about this leverage, or if he threatened to expose who was on those tapes, he would have become a liability instantly. In his final interviews, Aaron often alluded to knowing things that could bring people down. He hinted at the secret lives of industry titans. If the feds truly have terabytes of footage from Diddy's servers, we might be about to see a domino effect that destroys careers, marriages, and legacies. Aaron might have been the first domino that refused to fall silently, and he paid the ultimate price for it. But the tragedy of Aaron Carter isn't just about Diddy, it's about the family dynamic that pushed him into the fire. As we look at the date today, in 2026, the fog is finally lifting. 50 Cent's documentary is doing more than just entertaining us. It is vindicating the people we labeled as crazy. Aaron Carter, in his final, messy, desperate years, was trying to tell us the truth. He was trying to show us the strings on the puppets. The tragedy is that we didn't listen when he was alive. We liked the music, we clicked on the drama, but we ignored the human being screaming for a life raft. If the allegations against Diddy and his circle are proven true in court, we owe Aaron Carter an apology. He wasn't the villain of his own story, he was the victim of ours. The industry didn't just fail him, it devoured him. And as the secrets continue to spill out of Hollywood, one thing is certain: silence is no longer a currency that can buy safety. The reckoning is here, but for Aaron, it arrived far too late.